All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And, I just wanted to touch on a few articles. This is more of an article lesson on dealing with the food shutdown, okay? And the different supply chains, that's ultimately being broken down with this whole, COVID-19 situation going on. All right. And I've been tuned in to this guy's channel, which goes by the title of the Ice Age Farmer for a few weeks. Okay. And he goes into, how, basically, the system is breaking the food supply chains down and breaking down, these different businesses, whether it's dealing with the meats, the dairy, farming, etc. Okay. And ultimately Esau is just using these different methods, to push and to control every aspect, of life, or every aspect of, how people live and how people get things to the maximum. All right. We know he already has that control over that, but he wants to have it to the point where he wants to put out his certain type of food. For as, he goes into it in an article a little bit, but I remember a few years back we was going into how, the big company like Tyson, right? Which now they have been funding and getting into the way of not processed meat, but lab grown meat. Okay. So we're seeing the different measures and the different steps that is being taken to basically take these people out that have the farmers, take the people out these people out the industry so they could just have it by the way of their own design. Like they want to eliminate farmers, they want to eliminate the meat processing, package companies. They want to eliminate all those different things, and by pushing their own way of how they want to operate things, so to speak. So before we get into this article, I want to get this quick scripture real fast, and this ties into what I'm speaking of. Matter of fact, let's start at the top. It's the book of 2 Ezra 15, verse 1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." And this is what we speak of, man. The men of the Lord, the servants of prophets, we go out on highways and byways, and we speak the truth of the Bible, and we speak the words of prophecy, okay? We speak the words of prophecy of the things that's going to come to pass. Now, one of the things that we always speak of is the famine that's going to hit this land, right? And you're seeing it slowly but surely coming to pass, whereas, the world is going through a type of famine as we speak. When you go to your local grocery stores or, big supermarkets like Walmart, you start to see stocks are not being, shelves are not being restocked, as quickly as they should, or not being stocked at all. And I've been through a bunch of different stores, and a lot of certain things where you usually see stocked is not being stocked anymore. Matter of fact, when we go down to 2 Ezra, the 4th chapter, it says this, right? Let's go to the book of 6, Slakia, 2 Ezra 6, verse 22, it says, "And suddenly," right? "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." And this is what you're seeing with particular items on your store shelves, toilet paper, non-perishable items, right? You're seeing these things just gone off the shelves and not being put back. Okay, and by the time the little amount that they do have coming in, right, that's getting put on the shelves, people are grabbing it immediately. They're grabbing it in abundance. Okay, so if they only put a maximum of 30 on the shelf the order that they just got, you might have a random person, if they don't have the sign to say 2 or 3 per person, that individual alone is taking that 30 for him and his household, or him and his family. Okay. But we've been speaking of these different things. So let's go to here, the book of 2 Ezra 15, verse 13. It says, matter of fact, let's start at verse 11. It says, But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out. Another verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring it upon it. So, what you people have to understand is, Babylon the Great, also known as America, right? It is getting plagued and punishment, the plague and punishment by the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, because this place is completely wicked, man. This place is completely out of order and contrary to how the way of the Lord wants these things. It tells you how, this place's sins have reached up into the heaven. And also the Lord said this as well. Amos 9 verse 8, it says what? Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon this sinful kingdom, and will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that it will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. And that's dealing with the elect when it's speaking of the house of Jacob, which will not be destroyed. Okay. So let's go back to 2nd Esdras, 15th chapter, verse 13. It says, They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail, through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. This is what you're saying within the farming industry. These different farmers that's usually planting year round, or the most they could, sowing and reaping. Now, everything is put on hold. Everything is put to a stop. So now they can't continue to farm and continue to plant or whatever they're doing, because now they're all backed up. The goods that they had or still have, they're not going out into the markets. Okay, they're not going out into the markets, so everything is being halted. They can't do nothing with these items. And lately, a lot of these items that these people are having are going bad, I'm just showed the video, like I said, watching this guy tuned into this guy's channel right here. I watched 2 separate videos, showing you how, the dairy farms have so much milk and they can't get it out in time that they have to dump the milk. Okay, different farms, they got different vegetables, different fruits, they're just sitting. So what are they doing? They're getting old. Okay, they're getting rotten, they're molding up. So what do they have to do with these items? They have to toss them out. They can't even give these items away. They are being told to toss them out. Okay. Eggs, one of the highest food chain stores that sells eggs. They have to get rid of eggs because their eggs are going bad, because the place that gives them cartons for the eggs is put to a halt right now because of the COVID-19 pandemic going on. So everything is going down the line of these different necessities that people go get on a daily from the stores whenever they want. You're not able to do that anymore. Just like I went to the store today just to get a carton of eggs, and I had to get to half, because people are going in there buying in abundance, and they're stocking up their refrigerators, because they don't know when the next time, more goods is going to come into the store. But I'm just saying this to say that, these different farmers, these different meat processing plants, even dealing with the cattle, these people are filling it to the max, and it goes from them, and also to the consumers that's filling it. Also the people that's bringing the goods in within the trucks. Okay, so everyone is filling it. It's a domino effect. Okay, so I'm gonna quit rambling on. Till I get a few of these articles, and just read a few of these articles and give you some enlighten you on what's taking place. So let's actually it's up here. And Salakia for the ramble, and he usually puts some good links in here. So let's go to a few. All right. So you see right here. So let's go to this one, right? Meat processors shutting down. Okay. All right. So this is basically due to the coronavirus crisis. It says meat processing plants suspend operations after workers fall through. Tyson Foods say it has suspended operations at its pork plant in Columbus Junction, Iowa, pictured in February 2013 after more than 24 workers got sick of COVID-19. Okay, so several meat processing processing plants around the U.S. are sitting idle this week because workers have been infected with the coronavirus. Tyson Foods, one of the country's biggest meat processors, says it suspended operations at its pork plant in Columbus Junction, Iowa, after more than 24 workers got sick with COVID-19. National Beef Packing stopped slaughtering cattle at another Iowa plant, and JBS USA shut down work at a beef plant in Pennsylvania. You see? So what happens, when the farmers can't, they have nowhere to take their cattle and slaughter them, right? No one eventually gets meat. So slowly but surely, if this continues to go on, you won't see beef and different meats in the stores anymore as much as you see them now. It's going to slowly but surely dwindle. Most farms and food companies are continuing to operate during the COVID-19 pandemic. There's concern that the coronavirus could spread among workers doing some of the most labor-intensive jobs, including meat processing. Christine McCracken, a top meat industry analyst with Rabo Research Food and Agribusiness, told NPR via email that these plant closings aren't yet having a significant impact on the overall supply of meat to consumers, but there's increasing concern in the industry about worker shortages. Most processors I work with have seen a significant increase in absenteeism, McCracken wrote. Whether that is due to actual COVID-19 issues, childcare issues with the closure of schools, or even fear of contracting the disease, it is unclear. In some cases, the decline is available. Workers is severe. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the main points. It says a handful of workers at JBS plant in Greeley, Colorado, have tested positive for coronavirus, according to the Greeley Tribune. Hundreds of workers didn't show up for work on Monday and protested the lack of protection for workers. McCracken said meat processors are trying to prepare for work shortages by hiring more employees and by cross-training existing employees to do additional jobs, but that the companies have had limited success with these measures. You're right, because people are scared to go to work. Okay? People are scared to go to work, and with people not being able to take their kids to school, which is usually, their daycare for them at the moment, they can't go to work because they don't have no one to watch their children. So now let's go to the dairy farming, okay? And this, guy usually has a lot of good info on here. So this says, here's the full letter, including the qualification that cows must be sold off within the week by April 15th to someone outside the co-op. How quickly can you gut a nation's food supply? Very quickly, because this is the letter that they have got, right? And what are they being told? Let's read the things that's circled. It says, the board of directors has approved the following program to encourage members to quit dairy farming by paying the equity in the cooperative for the years 2010 to 2019, provided the following criteria is met by the member. Okay, let's see. Right, so they want them to quit they want these workers to quit dairy farming. Okay, so with all that being take place, you're going to also see a lack of milk, right? A lack of milk in your different stores with them quitting this dairy farming process. Okay, because this is what goes on before you get your milk to the stores. Okay, this is like almost one of the first steps. Okay. Let's see. See if he has some more on that. See, Shay Myers. Let me see. And this is dealing with onions. Oh yeah, there go the video of it right there. It says, we are not dumping because we don't have customers or processors to go to. We are not dumping because we are not diverse enough in our customer base. We are dumping because restaurants and processors are virtually closed. Processors and restaurants don't need onions when they don't have customers to consume their products. As soon as the processor has his freezers full, he can't process anymore, regardless of the price. Apparently, you all eat more onions when you go out to eat compared to when you eat at home. At least that's how it looks in the short term. Now, as you see, this guy on his farm, and he had multiple areas of millions
Hey guys, so what you're
of
looking at behind
onions.
me are the ramifications of COVID-19. Um, Millions upon millions upon millions of pounds. And this is one pile of many throughout this valley that has, more than 1 million pounds in it. We can't donate it. A lot of people ask me, well, why don't you donate? Why don't you go to the food banks? Well, the food banks are mostly full, number one. Number two, even if they weren't full, they don't need more onions. This isn't about not having enough food for you in the grocery store. This is about not having enough food for you in the restaurant. When you're not eating there, you don't need it there. The way I've been describing it to a lot of people that aren't as accustomed to the normal supply chain is that imagine a freeway that's connecting the farm to the city, okay? And that freeway has this massive bridge that goes over a massive river, and that bridge gets knocked out. If that bridge is knocked out, you can't rebuild immediately. Now, are there other routes to get there? Yeah, but it takes longer. And if it takes longer, that means the normal product that's in that supply chain cannot make it. And that's what we're seeing today. Normal shipments in the United States, loads of onions. Normal US consumption is 350 loads a day. We saw sub 200 shipments, 200 loads per day, every single day last week. And the most recent number that I've seen is 127. 1/3 of the normal US consumption of onions is being shipped. That's the shift in the supply chain. That's why you're seeing milk being dumped, tomatoes being dumped, squash in Florida being dumped, flowers being ruined and wasted. Everything has this normal supply chain, this normal route, this normal freeway, and those bridges are out. And that is a ramification. Catch you guys later. We'll see you.
You see, from a farmer himself, letting you know of the things that's happening. And it's happening like he brought it out in these different links, and like he said, dairy, milk is being dumped. Eggs are being thrown away, tomatoes, squash, everything that you can think of, because usually, like he says, a lot of these things they buy that goes to restaurants. Restaurants are only doing what? They're only doing takeout, and a lot of people ain't even doing takeout right now because they don't have the luxury and they don't have the extra money to go out to eat, because a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are waiting on unemployment. A lot of people are waiting on a stimulus check to come through so they can continue to go back. And a lot of people are more importantly, buying things as they go on, or as they need. A lot of people are not living in this joy and most comfortable state that how they used to be in before the pandemic, man. A lot of people are hurting. A lot of people are hurting. You see, but as I was saying, if this continues to go on, it's going to get a lot worse. You see, he said that I think he said the daily average or something was like 350 a load. Now it's down to 127. And he might have said this sent this video to Ice Age Farmer maybe a few days ago, and I'm just now reporting on it now. So imagine next week it'll go to 100 or drop to 90. You see? And then all these different goods that these people have, they got to toss them out, man, because there's nothing they can do with it once it goes rotten, once it goes old. You see? But you are starting to see the shortages of these different things take place, not only because they don't have, go to these different restaurant businesses, but also these stores, even a local meat market I go to. I heard someone close to the family, they said they had to split a bag of chicken, right? Split a bag of chicken with another woman, and this place usually is never out of meat, never. But since this thing has gone on, right? People have been buying. I'm talking about buying large amounts of meat, filling up deep freezers, And now they have been running out, and now there's not enough meat coming in for them to keep up with what people want or what they need. And this is just happening within everything, not just toilet paper. Yeah, toilet paper is a big thing that people see that's gone, but there's a lot of things off the shelf. You know, non-perishable items, meat, everything, man. And let this continue to go on for another month. Well, we already got what, maybe 20 days till this is over, as they say. I believe what, May 30th. I mean, not May, April 30th. Let this thing continue on for another month. It's gonna get crazy out here. Okay. Let's see. What's this? An article and go to his page so you can find this one for the Tyson dealing with the fake meat investments. Okay, because that's what they want to push as well. They want to push that lab-grown meat on people. See, I think we read that one already. Let me see. Okay, let's get this. What someone said. It says some of you have seen dairies pouring out milk because the supply chain isn't geared for 100% consumer sales. Same thing is happening for beef and getting worse. Congress should pass my Prime Act to make it possible for beef to go from farmers to consumers without USDA stopping it. And that's what the USDA is stopping, because farmers can't just go and just start selling to local people like that, right? It got to go. It's a process of steps that they got to go through. But without them just dealing with the people directly, what happens? Now they're sitting on their product. You know, now you have these different farmers all sitting on their product. You know, and once you fill your storehouses or whatever with it, for as like your freezers or whatever you got to put it up. You know, there's still a time limit on it. You know, not for the freezers usually, but for like the vegetables, the different crops. You know, which will go old within some a few days, some a few weeks maybe. So you know, things is getting bad. Let's see what this is. Yeah, here we go. Butchers forced to throw out piles of meat after essential business mixed messages. Piles of meat could be heading to the tip after butchers were told last minute they wouldn't be able to open on Thursday, New Zealand's first day of COVID-19 lockdown. The list of essential businesses was confirmed late on Wednesday, leaving many caught out and still confused. Mike Hansen, another buy meats, has stocked up for this lockdown, but instead of it being sold to customers, it will now have to be given away or thrown out. In the back chiller, we probably got 4 or 5 beasts for the shop and 30 hoggets to put somewhere in the freezer. It's not big enough to store all of this, he told. And that's what I was saying. There's not enough room to store all of that. So instead of letting it go old, they just was giving it out. Let's see. And just a little bit more on that, but that's pretty much the point. And this is happening in New Zealand, but these are happening in places within the U.S. too. So, you know, that's the point on that. So just going back to this, 2 Ezra 15 verse 13 again, it says, "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail and with the fearful constellation." And that's what you were saying. You were seeing these people, these farmers that till the ground. They are in a mourning state. Okay, and also these different meat processing or the different farmers that deal with cattle, they are also in a mourning case as well. You know, which this all leads to a famine at the end of the day. Okay, now let's go to the book of Ezekiel 5, verse 16. It says, "When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and I will break the staff of your bread." You see? So I will send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord, have spoken it. And this is what you're starting to see what's happening now. We're starting to see, a little glimpse of a famine. Okay, just a very little glimpse, because we haven't seen a famine yet. I'm talking about famine where there's going to be no bread, no food. People are going to be, losing their minds just for the want of bread and for thirst. Okay, but a famine is coming. A famine is definitely coming. All right, but this is just a little glimpse of a slight, what you say, I don't even want to use the word famine, but it is very much looking like it's going to that, if, like I said, if this thing continues. Okay, so but with saying that, let's take a step back and go to Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, the 16th verse, right? Because with this going on, it is now people, have to eat their food in rations. You can't just be a gluttonous eater, or you're gonna run out of food, So Ezekiel 4 verse 16, it says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. You see, so almost today, this will be called like a rationing system, okay? Where you got to measure, where you got to see how much you're able to eat for that day and see how much you're able to eat for the next day. Basically, you're just not going to you're going to eat what's good for you, which you're really supposed to do. You're not supposed to overeat or overindulge, but you're supposed to eat just enough to fill you up, But here in America, we're not taught to, live or have give our bodies that type of discipline. We're taught to just eat. What they say for the Snicker commercial, if you're hungry, why wait? Type of thing, And that's what, Americans are used to. When you talk about people, when you talk about fasting, people are not used to fasting. People are not used to going, the average American is not used to of not eating for, let's say, 4 hours, Longest they may not eat is when they're at work and they may have forgot their lunch at home or something like that. But they still might get a bag of chips, or they still might get some gum or something to drink or something like that. You see? So they're still snacking on something. But they don't know how to just discipline themselves and not go without eating for a few hours, And I'm just saying a few hours. So imagine what's going to come upon a time where these same people are not going to be able to eat for days or maybe weeks. You see? They're going to lose their mind. Okay? So this is what's coming in, like a rationing system. If we continue to see this thing go on. All right? But saying all that to say, which all these different things will lead to what? Right? What would these different things end up leading to? Second Esdras 15, verse 19, it says what? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Why? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this was coming upon this place, right? People are not going to have no regard for people, right? When they and their family are going through a hardship, especially a famine. You see? So this is going to happen. That says that man's going to have no pity upon his neighbor. So he's not going to care if y'all lived across the street from each other for 20 plus years, and y'all didn't have barbecues, and your children and came and had birthday parties, not shared birthday parties, but came over to each other's birthday parties and things like that. All that is going out the window, because once these different things take place of all chaos on the streets and famine and things like that, right? It's going to be a dog-eat-dog world. It's going to be me and my family and screw everybody else. That's going to be the mentality of these people in the world, man. Best believe it. Okay? Verse 57, it says, thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. The city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountain shall die of hunger, because you're going to have people that's going to be running and being pilgrims and trying to hide in different places like that, right? But if you're not of the elect, right, the Lord's not covering you, and you to be one of those people that's hiding in the field, this is what? They that be in the mountain shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. And this is going to take place, man. People are going to be so hungry. People are going to be in so much of a dire strait where they're just going to say, you know what? Billy, just chop my hand off. Chop my hand off, man. I need something to eat. We need to cook something. We didn't eat in a month. Chop my hand off, and that's what I'm going to nibble on, you know? And this is going to take place, man. This is written, man. These words are faithful and true. So these different things are going to come to pass, right? Which also leads to this, right? Deuteronomy 28, verse 55. It says what? And this happened before in our homeland in Jerusalem, okay, when we was being besieged by the Romans, right? So it says, so that he will, start at point 55. It says, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. Verse 57, it says, and towards her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them. She shall what? Eat them for the want of all things secretly in the siege, and in straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. And this is what happened to us before when we were being besieged by the Romans. And at this time, what did they do? They let nothing come out and they let nothing come in. So we was eating whatever we had, right? And it boiled down to what? It boiled down to our people eating their own children. Okay, it you know, the end result was cannibalism, you know. And you see that on these different movies, man, when things like this be going on, you know. You seen it in what's the movie with Denzel? The Book of Eli, when them old people had their house with all them people they was eating. See the movie called The Road, you know. So, but this is what happened. This becomes the mind state of people when they're not able to eat. Okay, so yes, cannibalism will go on. It might seem like a sci-fi movie to you or whatnot, but hey, those type of things are going to be taking place, and it's going to be the norm. It's going to be the norm. You know what I mean? People will be going out on little missions, so to speak, or hunts, just to find people to kidnap so they can take back to the village to eat. You know? So these things will be happening, man, you know? And this is all of the different effects of things coming down a pipeline like a domino effect, one after another. You know, so pretty much I just wanted to give you an idea and just show you a few things, how, you know, hey, like the brother said, you know, hey, these prophecies are speaking, you know. Farmers are feeling it. They're in mourning, you know, and the world is ultimately, you know, feeling it, you know. Especially these people that just like to just go and just make feast almost every day, you know. But, you know, I don't want to ramble too much on, you know, Lord willing, hope this lesson was edifying, you know, and, hey, man, just tune into that guy's channel. He was bringing out some good information on what be going on in these, within the food supply chain and, you know, going on with these different farming industries and things like that. So, you know, at the end of the day, hey, we must continue to faith, you know, not worry about what's happening, you know, not to be in fear, continue to trust in Yahweh Shai, as he says, my servants shall eat. Matter of fact, I'll get that and close out. I believe it's in the book of Isaiah too, my servants. Oh yeah, let me see, it's this one. Shall eat. Because the Lord is going to take care of his elect. Best believe that. All right. Here we go. Yep. Isaiah 65 verse 13. It says, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. But behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirits. Okay? And that's the point. You know, the Lord's going to take care of his elect. Okay? The Lord is going to take care of his, and we must continue to trust in him and believe. So, Lord willing, hope this lesson was edifying. Until next time, I'll say shalom.